Hey there, crafty friends, and welcome to my 12 Days of Christmas. I'm Terry from Terrific Cards, and this is day number 8. So, today we are going to make a card that is relatively simple. There isn't a lot of stamping on this one, it's mostly just layering paper and a few die cuts, and maybe a little bit of fussy cutting too. All right, and some embossing, definitely some embossing. So, let's bring you down to tabletop here. So this is our card today. All right. And we are going to bring in our supplies here. So we're using the Season of Green and Gold suite once again today. This suite is in the online exclusive items and isn't found in the catalog. So just go to the website under menu, online exclusives, and you'll find it there. The suite has the Greetings of the Season bundle, the Golden Greenery bundle, the Season of Green and Gold DSP, Graceful Greenery Vellum, which is what we're going to be using today, Cherry Cobbler and Pearl Adhesive Backed Berries, and Very Vanilla Satin Ribbon. So for this card, we have a card base that is 5.5 by 8.5 and scored at 4.25, which gives us, a 5.5 by 4.25 card. All right, so we're just going to fold our card base there. And we have a Mossy Meadow layer of cardstock that is 3 3/4 by 5. And this one was embossed with the 3D Basics embossing folders. Now, I don't think that those are available any longer, but you can use whatever embossing folders that you have. That's not a big deal. So I'm going to glue this down to our card front. All right. Like I've said before, I like to kind of get things out of the way so that they're not just sitting around with a pile of stuff that, you have to get confused with. So this just goes to our middle, to the middle of our card. Okay, just glued straight down there. Then I've got a piece of DSP from that Season of Gold, Green and Gold. And I'm going to glue that down to the card front. Now this piece is, 3.25 by 5.5. So it's just slightly smaller than our Mossy Meadow piece, and it goes from top to bottom. It's such a pretty pattern. So we're just going to place that right in the center of our card. Okay, there we go. So far, so good. Now I have a piece of vellum. This is from the Graceful Greenery Vellum, and I'm going to put just a bit of adhesive down the middle of it. Not going quite to the edge because we don't want to see that adhesive, right? So just put a little bit there. And we're going to glue that right on top in the middle of our DSP. Now it's not, hugely visible. It's not a big element on our card, but I like the layers. So I like to kind of mix and match things up a little bit. All right, so let's take a piece of ribbon. We'll get that piece on there. So I've got my ribbon here. I'm just going to cut a piece. So I want to measure it. Actually, I'm going to trim that edge first. Now, how do I want this? Go on like that. Okay. So I'm going to have a piece that's going to go almost right across there. So we're going to kind of fold that over just to see how big we want it. So let's go with a piece about that big. So I'm just going to trim that there. There we go. All right. So let's use, um, you know what? I think I'm going to use some tear tape on this one today. So I'm going to run a piece of tear tape across the middle of my card here. And we're just going to glue that down. This is going to hold my ribbon in place very well. And then, yep, I think that's good. That looks all right. Okay, so I'm going to put another piece of tear tape in the middle of that. And I'm just going to put it a little bit lower. And I'm not going to make it too long. That should be all right. Right about there sounds good. Peel that off. We're just going to fold our ribbon across. Now I want to bring it down just a little bit because I don't want it completely overlapping. I want to see a little bit of the two layers there. Okay, so there we go. Now we've got our ribbon down. Oops, get rid of the garbage here. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do next is I'm going to emboss my tag. So let's move our card out of the way here, and we're going to take the Season's Greetings stamp, and we're going to take some Versamark, and we need our embossing buddy. There we go. And so when I'm stamping this, I want to do it on the bottom half of this tag because we're going to add the little bells at the top. So, oh, that looks good. Let's stamp that there. Good. All right, we're going to emboss this in gold. I want to make sure we get lots and lots of coverage there. So I just like to do it a few times just to make sure. Go. All right, perfect. Okay, so now we've got our tag with our Season's Greetings on it. And we've got some greenery. The greenery is from the Graceful Greenery Vellum. And what's very cool about this is that it's got some that's just green. It's got some that's got little white snow on it. And these cut out with the dies from this bundle. So that is just wonderful. So we don't have to do anything. And what I want to do is I'm going to kind of layer these on top of here. And I'm going to glue those down. And I think I'm just going to use, excuse me, some glue dots for this. So I'm just going to let's take one of these green ones. I'm going to put a glue dot on the bottom half, the base of the branch there. I'm just going to put one. And I want these to kind of float a little bit. I don't want them to be glued down completely. So I'm going to place them in the middle of our ribbon here. And these are going to get covered up by the tag, right? So you're not going to see the bases of these. I'm going to take one of these snow-covered ones, and I'm going to kind of figure out, oops, where I want to lay that. That looks pretty good there. All right. And then I'm going to do the same. I've got 3 more of them. So I've got 1 more green one, 2 more of the snow-covered. And it doesn't really matter how many you use. It's just about getting those layers in there. So I'm going to take these ones and I'm going to kind of make them come up here. But you know what? I think I want one of these snow-covered ones underneath. So I'm going to do snow-covered one. And then I'll do a green one. No, yep, I did. I did put that on there. Okay, and then I've got 1 more snow-covered one. We're going to kind of move it up just a bit. And what I can do is, if I find that I want to move it up, but it's going to pop out here, which I don't know that it will. No, it won't. But if it did, you could just snip the bottom of this off of here. I'm going to move it up just a little bit more. There we go. All right. So I've got my greenery all placed. Very simple. It's great when you already have those, they're pre-printed for you. So all you have to do is glue them down. It's a wonderful thing. Die cut them and then glue them down, I suppose. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to do my tag now. And I'm going to actually put a couple of dimensionals right here in the middle of this greenery, because I just want to hold it so it's not moving around too much. All right. So we've got this. Let's put some dimensionals on here. There we go. Okay. So let's place that in the center of our vellum piece. There we go. That's good so far. Now we have one last step to do. So we've got these bells, and I didn't have any of the double bells left. It was kind of cut off at the bottom of the paper. So I'm going to take 2 single bells, and these are in the DSP, and I'm just going to cut these out. So simple. And if you're using it, you could use the double bells, which already have the bow and stuff on them. But because I had already used all of the ones that were in the paper, I'm just going to cut a couple singles out, and then we're going to cut the bow out. And unfortunately, this doesn't have a die with it, but you know what? I actually wonder if it does, and I didn't think of it. That's okay though. Because now that I'm thinking about it, I can't remember if there was a bell die or not. I don't happen to have it handy right here at my table, but if it does, that would make your life a little bit easier. I know for sure it does not have one for the double bell, so you would have to cut that one out. but maybe for the single bells. Either way, it's not like it's too difficult to do. It's really quick to cut these out. All right, so you can see I've got 2 bells there. And then I just want that little bow. I'm going to trim this a little here. There we go. See, that didn't take too long. Okay, so now I'm going to glue these bells together, and I'm going to glue them to here. So let's use a little bit of liquid glue. Tombow. I'm just going to cover up that little hole that was in there in the tag. There we go. Little bell. There. And then we have our little bow. Oops. Get gluey fingers. I think I want my bow to go this way. That's right. Yep. There. Perfect. Okay. One finishing touch. I am going to bring in these little berries. And I'm going to add just one of these pearl ones to that bell. There we go. A little boop of bling. And there's your card. All right. I hope you enjoyed. I hope it gave you some inspiration. And I love that you were able to stop by today. Thanks so much and have a great rest of your day. Bye.